Hi guys, welcome to Flick Finest. Shudder is a gift from the unholy horror gods. Where once upon a time fans of the ghoulish and ghastly had to trade tapes with fellow horror lovers, Shudder is a well-stocked collection of scary stories that span decades and genres. The classics, slashers, haunted houses, creature features, demonic possession, you name it, Shudder's got it, and the only problem with having such a large, genre-specific selection to choose from is the fact that you do eventually have to make a decision on what to watch. To give you a hand with choosing the right fright for your night, we're providing a list of the best movies on Shudder right now. We hope that this selection will be useful, and everyone will find something new to watch. So let's not waste any time and begin. Number 12. Late Night with the Devil. This horror throwback from writer and directors Cameron and Colin Cairns is set on Halloween night in 1977, with Johnny Carson's rival Jack Delroy, David Dastmalchian, preparing to host the next installment of his talk show. However, with ratings dropping, Delroy plans to throw caution to the wind with the Halloween theme in the hope of gaining viewers. Little does anyone know that a spate of demonic happenings will cause the show to transfer evil into the homes of its viewers. A blend of storytelling styles from found footage to mockumentary is employed in Late Night with the Devil, making it a completely unique viewing experience. Beyond its innovation, the film is simply a remarkably entertaining horror, with creepy twists and turns likely to leave you clutching your pillow and watching between your fingers. Number 11. Watcher. More than the traditional suspenseful horror flick, Watcher follows a young woman who suspects their new neighbor is spying on her and her husband, eventually believing he may also be a serial killer. Starring Maika Monroe and Carl Glusman as Julia and Francis, Watcher is a nail-biting thriller that trades twists and turns for pulse-pounding tension. Monroe's performance is magnetic, having her transition from a quiet strength to a terrified farceness within the same scene. Director Chloe Okuna's unique perspective and stylish eye provide a distinct tone to Watcher, producing a positively gripping psychological thriller. Number 10. What Joia Saw. What Joia Saw is a modern American gothic horror film starring Robert Patrick and Nick Stahl. Robert Allen Dilt's intriguing script is directed by Vincent Grashaw, and the two make for a compelling combination, as Grashaw's use of shadows and suspense brings an unsettling story to life. Although the faces in this film are quite familiar, these performances feel uniquely creepy in ways audiences have not seen from these actors before. What Joia Saw is a haunting experience for any horror fan. Number 9. Laona. Shudder's first Oscar nominee, Laona probably isn't the jump scare fright fest you're expecting if you're thinking about its Conjuring-verse cousin, The Curse of Laona. What it is a heart-turning slow burn horror that's as much gothic tragedy as it is a ghost story. Jero Bustamante painstakingly unfolds the story of former Guatemalan dictator Enrique Julio Diaz, confined to his home along with his long-suffering family, while on trial for genocide. As the sickly war criminal starts to hear the sounds of a weeping woman echo through the halls at night, the screams of protesters batter the windows outside during the day. Laona is the type of film where you don't notice you've been holding your breath until the credits roll, and while it does build to a devastating crescendo, the justice served is also deeply cathartic. Number 8. Hell House. LSC. Found footage gets a bad rap, but a well-crafted entry can still leave you shaking more than the camera. Exhibit a Hell House. LSC, a wickedly clever little horror show written and directed by Stephen Cognetti. The film works as a faux documentary covering a horrific event that happened inside of a Halloween haunted house maze in rural Rockland County, New York. The movie then works backward, showing you how a hopeful crew of young haunted house creatives brought their work to the abandoned Abaddon Hotel, where the scares they're cooking up can't compare to the odd phenomena that keeps happening after work hours. Hell House. LSC isn't free of jump scares. The ones it does employ pack one heck of a punch, but it doesn't rely on them, instead building the kind of dread that can only come when you know these characters are doomed from the start. Number 7. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Hopefully, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark landing on Shudder means a whole new generation is introduced to a B-movie icon. When the TV horror hostess Elvira, Cassandra Peterson, quits her job in LA, she sets out to small-town Massachusetts to claim the house left by her late great aunt Morgana, Tress MacNeil. Unfortunately, the uptight residents of Falwell are simply scandalized by the sudden appearance of a woman who loves horror flicks, deep necklines, and double entendres in equal measure, a situation that devolves into a full-on witch hunt. Gloriously campy, purposely schlocky, and punk rock at its core, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, is about as required viewing as it gets. Number 6. Host. Host is the best piece of entertainment filmed during quarantine, and it's not even close. Coming in at a breezy 60 minutes, Rob Savage's screenshare spook show follows a group of friends, played by Haley Bishop, Gemma Moore, Emma Louise Webb, Radita Drandova, Caroline Ward, and Edward Leonard, who conduct the scenes with medium Celine Baxter over Zoom. Host easily could have come off like a cheap gimmick, but Savage mines incredibly clever scares from the most unexpected places, from weak internet connection to personalized backgrounds to the filters that change a user's face. It's a study in the way limitations can help, not hinder filmmaking, as fascinating to watch as it is scary. Number 5. Jer Snaps. John Fawcett's spin on the werewolf mythos should be considered among the ranks of the modern monster classics, and easily one of the best werewolf movies, but outside horror circles, it's too often forgotten. A coming-of-age tale via lycanthropy, Jer Snaps tells an intimate story about two death-obsessed, codependent sisters who are slowly torn apart when the older girl starts to change after a werewolf attack. Jer Snaps was one of the early adopters of the 21st century trend to address female puberty by way of monstrous transformation, and it does so with great effect. But it's also a downright well-made horror film. The effects are on point, the characters are relatable and sympathetic, and the actors all committed in their pulpy roles. Jer Snaps puts a clever spin on a lot of themes: sexuality, sisterhood, loneliness, outsider pride, and the desire to belong, and in doing so, it puts a fresh spin on one of horror's most long-standing genres. Number 4. One Cut of the Dead. The crazy thing about One Cut of the Dead is that you will be wondering why everyone keeps telling you to watch this movie. This horror comedy starts off as a zombie flick with an interesting premise. A crew filming a zombie movie gets trapped in what appears to be an actual zombie outbreak, with the added twist of being one unbroken shot. It's fun, it's gory, and it's perfectly fine. And then One Cut of the Dead turns completely on a dime and becomes the best zombie comedy since Shaun of the Dead. The payoff of this movie is absurdly, gut-bustingly worth the wait and builds to one of the satisfying final stretches you can imagine. Don't search for spoilers or a synopsis, just hit play. Number 3. Mandy. Some movies are hard to sell, and sometimes I can just tell you that Nicolas Cage snorts a mountain of cocaine and gets into an axe battle with biker demons. Panos Cosmatos' dreamy, delirious revenge tale, Mandy is one hell of a trip, filmed with a sense of color and sound that feels like H.P. Lovecraft went to Burning Man. Cage plays Red, a logger who lives in idyllic bliss with his artist girlfriend Mandy. Unfortunately, Mandy catches the eye of Jeremiah Sand, a far-out cult leader, who then commits an act so atrocious that Red has to battle hell itself to get payback. A lot can be said for the weirder bits of Mandy, and Mandy does get weird, but the first half of this film is a surprisingly powerful mediation on love and loss, featuring a much-made bathroom freakout that is the most primal scream performance of Cage's career. Number 2. Tigers Are Not Afraid. Issa Lopez's dazzling dark fairy tale Tigers Are Not Afraid wowed festival audiences for years before landing on Shudder, and I'm stoked to report that the hype is very, very real. Set on the streets of a Mexico ravaged by the human trafficking ring known as the Huascas, Tigers revolves around two orphans, Estrella Paola and Shine, Juan Ramon Lopez, on the run from the cartel that murdered their parents. Luckily, Estrella appears to possess 3 magic wishes, which usually arrive in this dark reality with bloody results. As beautiful as it is terrifying, Lopez's haunting story floats with the same kind of black magic you'll find in Guillermo del Toro's early films like The Devil's Backbone and Pan's Labyrinth. Number 1. Color Out of Space. An adaptation of an H.P. Lovecraft story from Mad Men director Richard Stanley, Color Out of Space follows a completely normal Garner family living on their completely normal output farm. Father Nathan, Nicolas Cage, Mother Theresa, Jolie Richardson, daughter Lavinia, Madeline Arthur, son Betty, Brendan Mayer, and youngest Jack, Julian Hilliard, when a glowing orb crash lands on their lawn from the cosmos. What follows is a technicolor descent into madness as the ball of light transforms the gardeners both in mind and grotesquely in body. Comfort classic late era Nicolas Cage freak out that echoes Vampire's Kiss. Stay for the truly disturbing body horror with shades of the day in society. High praise indeed in the nausea genre. Well, this is it. Share your movie impressions in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe for more upcoming videos.